And we're back, and today's special guest, Patty, is our very own Jeremy Scott. So, Jeremy, you're packing your bag.
I think they're already packed.
They're packed.
They're in the back of my trunk.
So what's next for Jeremy?
I'm moving to Austin, or back to Austin.
Right.
I lived there previously when I got out of college at UCO.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brand X.
Yeah, Brand X. I went down there and stayed for a few years, and then I moved back here, and the INTV thing kind of fell in my lap. That was in 2007, and I've been here for the last 3.5 years, and felt it was time to go back down there and
Right.
and try it again, because last time I was down there, I screwed off. I just.
Well, you're a little younger.
I was younger,
not
yeah, I
quite
was.
matured to the
Yeah.
level professionally maybe
Yeah.
you need to be, and focus. Yeah.
Well, I did do some stuff down there, but I don't think I did enough, and I don't.
We read that on the internet.
Yeah. Oh man. I know, it's so embarrassing.
Maybe you should take that off Facebook.
Don't Google Jeremy Scott. Don't do it.
Could be threatening.
It could be threatening.
Well,
You might get a
Jerry,
virus.
It's a double whammy for me. Latte has been a very wonderful thing in my life.
Oh,
I
yeah, me
have
too.
become so informed about our community, and I thought I knew everything. I don't know about you.
Oh, absolutely.
But Jeremy has been so instrumental in that, and it's just been a delight that I look forward to each and every week. But on the other hand, he's my nephew.
That's right, family.
He's family, and I am really going to miss you. Seeing you every week, which I don't always get to see my nephews every week.
That's true.
I'm going to miss that very much.
You got a lot of nephews too, by the way.
You have a lot of cousins.
I got a lot of cousins.
But I believe you're probably the most entertaining. And
I'll take that. I'll take that.
You make me laugh, and you just really make me proud. You've done a very good job here at INTV, and you've grown into a fine young man and a great artist.
Well, I think one of the things too that Jeremy allowed for you and I in this opportunity through Late Morning Latte to bring different components of the community to be in front of the camera. Individuals who are leaders in the community, people who are citizens that are involved in civic and nonprofit organizations, and really gave that opportunity to educate not only the viewers, but also Jerry Cook, for sure, because there was a lot of people that we spoke with and interviewed and
That you did never.
Yeah, that I never.
Yeah.
Which is it's just weird to me, because both of you guys are people about town, and I just always kind of thought, well, they know way more people
Well,
than
and I think
do.
that's the power of good local media, good local television, is that there are incredible stories everywhere in this community, and there will be in Austin too.
Oh, sure,
There's incredible
yeah.
stories.
A lot weirder stories.
Well, there may be, and a little more.
It's a weird little
dynamic.
town. That's why I like it. It's a weird
But
little
I think that those things are out there, and it's such a neat opportunity to pull some of these resources together and then share some of those messages. And I know we've interviewed elected officials, and you put such great talents and skills. I mean, people turn on their television, it's off and on, change the channel. I'm not sure anybody really understands how complicated the production and editing is for a television show. It is not you sit in front of the camera for 30 minutes and chat and then hit play. There's a great deal of technical requirement and also creative. And Jeremy does a great job.
He absolutely does, and we actually do need more support from the community to keep this going, because Jeremy's kind of a one-man show, at least on this show. I mean, you bring the cameras wherever you go, and you'll call the shots, and you've done a very good job. I think it's also a testament to how Tahlequah has grown that we don't know everybody.
Right, exactly.
And with Tahlequah growing like that, I think a TV studio is in order. Tell me, you researched this, and I think you found that there's not any other towns our size that have this going
the
on.
Tahlequah is it, I think we talked about this last time I was on the show, about Tahlequah saying it's the city of firsts, and I think they could do more to back that up, to be quite honest. See, I'm leaving, so I can open up the suitcase a little bit and pull out some finals here.
Jerry, tell us really what you think.
Well, I mean, if this is a TV station, and that is a first for Oklahoma, for a town this size, and you have to take PBS and the ABC, CBS, all the affiliates. You can't count them, but as far as a privately owned TV station in the state of Oklahoma, for any city actually, this is it. So this is a first, and You know, I got to say, I think there has been support for INTV in the community. I mean, we wouldn't still be around if nobody did anything for us. I mean, you guys are part of that. But there's a whole lot more that could be done.
Well, back to the personal part of Jeremy. You brought a lot of characters to INTV too, and you've grown in your performances there. I know you do a lot of voiceovers for a lot of the different commercials that run on INTV.
Not all of them are great, but they're at least funny.
Well, but some of them I have to really think, was that Jeremy?
Oh yeah.
And they were really good one. I like the Blue Plate special. But Chet is probably my favorite, Chet Holleran, and I think you do that fabulous. Are you going to take him with you to Austin?
You bet. That one was.
Do you think Chet might run for public office in Austin?
Hey, that's a real possibility.
I think he'd fit right in Austin.
He might.
He'd fit in. I don't, you know, running for public office, that's a lot of baggage. That's a big closet with a lot of skeletons.
That's right.
And some of them still talk. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know about, I think Chet would be more of a behind-the-scenes guy, like a puppet master, like a campaign manager, like.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
And
like
this
puppet regime.
You can spin it.
Yeah, that's right. You know, more of a coach.
So what's Mr. Ooh La La going to do without Chet as a manager around here?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that could be devastating to his career.
Well, you know, Mr. Ooh La La was a pro wrestler for the 20 years previous to his time with Chet, so I think he knows a thing or two to how to survive out there. Yeah, that's true. This is true.
Now, how many wrestlers wear an INTV T-shirt?
He was our biggest fan, although I think the Eubanks brothers, they kind of were the founders of it. I think they're familiar with INTV. I don't know if they have a T-shirt, though.
Pretty important. It's a powerful message.
Yeah, Mr. Ooh La La just took the INTV thing and just wrapped himself in it. So
it went viral.
He's big enough fan for like 5 people to, you know. So yeah, I'm not worried about Mr. Ooh La La. He'll be fine. And you know, Chet was weird. I came up with that one here, and I had a hat, and I had the fake everything, the mustache and the beard and the glasses and the ugly clothes. And I was like, man, you know, this is about a month or 2 into being at INTV when I first got here, and I was like, man, I need to do something like a show or something with a character, you know, fourth wall type thing. And I had all this stuff, so I'm like, I just started putting it on one evening, and the last thing I did was I put the glasses on. I was standing in front of the mirror, and I go, Doug. And because I hadn't thought about the voice yet, and then when that voice came out, I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Now, wasn't the jacket your Grandpa Allender's?
Some of them were, and some of them not. The one that we have now, we got it Remarkables for like $1.
Perfect.
The hat the original hat was my granddad Scott's, but he got stepped on during one of the.
I can't imagine that.
I was eating breakfast. My Chet was, and he just ripped David's character off, Buck Slick, and he sent his boys out to get him, and when in the scuffle, it just got stepped on.
Now, there's going to be some viewers who don't know what you're talking about when you just mentioned that.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that series.
What, the Knights of Cherokee County?
Yeah.
Oh, it was just three episodes. I meant to do 4, and I don't know, I made a lot of mistakes on it, but I was also doing everything by myself. You know, I was my own camera guy, kind of like on Retro. I was my own camera guy, even though at the end it says directed by Paul Rubelt. That's me. Paul's my middle name, and Rubelt's my dad's middle name. So there you go. But I don't know. I mean, I learned a little. I learned what not to do, which is learning.
Yeah, that's part of the experience.
Yeah, to do something like that, you have to have a crew of people.
Let me ask you this about the community, because you've seen it from behind the camera and
Oh,
lived
sure,
here and
yeah.
so forth. Tahlequah's, like everybody would know, a unique place, I think, in a lot of ways. Tell us, we got a few minutes left. Briefly, what do you see here as a real positive kind of thing about Tahlequah, and maybe some of the challenges that you would say from someone that's going on to a larger community and so forth? What are the things that our viewers might want to just kind of reflect on?
I think I'll start with the positives first. I think you got a great city council. And I think Mayor Purdy is a very progressive mayor, although he's getting ready to I guess, step down or whatever. He's not going to run again. I know there's some people in the mix that are wanting to run. I would say if you're a voter in Tahlequah, look at somebody who's younger and wants to be progressive, because we can have somebody that wants to keep it 1957, but that the rest of the world's not going to care. And if we want to keep up, we got to get with the program. And you know, I think Betts does a good job of trying to keep, and you do too at NSU. But I would say, you know, try to keep your elected officials younger. I mean, you know, I'm not saying anything against the older people, but you know, I'm 33, so my generation's going to be running this country here in about 15 years or so. Once the baby boomers, you know, tip their hat and say I'm out.
Well, and speaking, you mentioned Retro Americana earlier, and
we'll
we're retroing back. Right. Yeah. Are you going to take that with you?
Yeah, I'm going to try to. I mean, all I can do is try. I mean, I know how to do the show, and it's very cheap to do. It's very simple. I would probably want a director. I don't want to have to do everything by myself, but I'm going to try to take that down there, and that's all I can do is try to take it down there.
Well, it's been a very popular show, and I think that it's interesting because we may have lived during that era, but we don't always remember those things, and it takes you back. It's like going to a flea market and saying, oh, wow,
but coming from the political side, I like the Bob Osmus for Senate sign that's right behind him. I don't know, that it brings back a lot of real positive things about your dad and about campaigning, and he was active, and people just were kind of, you know, that was a period of time that everybody was kind of engaged, you know, as they are today. But I mean, it was just those kind of little touches, I would tell you, Jeremy, for a lot of people will connect.
Yeah. That's true.
I think we're going to have to take a commercial break because there's nobody behind these cameras right now. I'm telling you, folks, this is
we're on autopilot.
Yeah, Ralphie Cifaretto, that's me. So, yeah, we're going to take a break. So, why don't you lead us out to commercial?
So don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back.